whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Nürburgring. For hopefully a good time. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Nürburgring 71 has been released in beta for old Automobilista 2 here, and not sure how far along it is, but it's it looks pretty good. Closer to finish than I thought it would be. So thought it might be fun to throw up some racing today, and hopefully everything works out. Last time I did this, it did not go super well. We did some IndyCar races a while back, and they did not go extremely well online. But we'll see if things are a little bit better. Much bigger circuit today, will be much more spread out and not wheel to wheel, so maybe things will go a little less chaotic with it. But hopefully we'll get in a couple races. So I'm in on the server. If you go on my Discord in the announcements channel or some of the details to join, you do have to sign up for the release candidate beta for AMS2 so that you have access to the track. You also, I think, need the Nürburgring add-on. I thought this was a part of the Historic Tracks add-on, but it's supposedly a part of the Nürburgring add-on. So you need that as well, but if you subscribe to the release candidate, you can get kind of early access to the track. And then you should be able to join if there's space. I don't know if we'll get away with... I did try to max it out with as many folks as possible to run. Hopefully everything just works. I did have it crash offline for me, but it might have just been an AI thing. But we've got about 22 minutes left in practice/qualifying hybrid, and I want to go out and maybe do hopefully a qualifying lap here and show off the track a little bit, because it's really cool. And it is just a beta, so keep that in mind as I'm looking through stuff today. This is not, I guess, the finished circuit overall. Just make sure everything is set up here. So I was hesitant to do this initially, but it's really fun. So I'm hoping that we can get some good racing today. But we'll start up the car here. And of course, as always, let me know how everything sounds. It should sound alright. We're racing on the Gesamtstrecke, which, if you're not familiar, doesn't exist anymore, but it's most similar to the full, like, 24-hour layout of the ring these days. But this track was only used for special events in real life, and that's because it comprises both the Nordschleife that we're all in love with, but also the Südschleife, which in my opinion is the cooler part of this circuit. But we'll jump on down, and I think I'm on an outlap here, so we'll have to come around the full lap, I think, before I can actually start a timed lap, which I should have just enough time left in this session. We got it 21 minutes. I gotta remember that I have to drive. So we're driving the BMW 2002 Turbo, and it is a slidey car. Oh, thank you, Larry. Suds is greater than Nords. You're right, Ian. Ian, I thought you weren't going to be here. I was looking forward to racing you. Well, come on through. So, this is that, oh, we got a car sideways. Reefabus. So this is the Southern Loop, and most of this is gone these days because it was created, you know, the GP circuit, modern-day GP circuit, takes a lot of the land that this part of the track was on. But I believe a little bit of this is still here, just as like abandoned roads or paths and things that lead up to the GP track, especially as we get down to the village here at the bottom. Thank you, Ascari. I gotta expand my chat box a bit. I can't read what folks are saying. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Grind a gear. There we go. Sorry to hear you're under the weather. Yeah, hopefully it's some good racing, though. Thank you, Ian. We will need some good luck. I see a few familiar faces in here, though. It's always a little, you know, if you just put a race online, you never know who you're going to get. I know 90% of people out there, maybe 99%, are excited to try something with some other folks, but one bad egg can ruin it, so hopefully we don't get anything like that today. Nothing too serious, though. It's just going to be 2-lap races around here, which will be like 20 minutes long. Doing 2 laps of this course is not a short race. Okay, we'll come up. This is Hothead, this corner. We'll just throw it sideways, because that's how this car likes it. Alright, and we're headed up this hill now. That's going to bring us back to the start-finish area, but we're now on the other side of the start-finish straight, and we'll head on to the Nordschleife itself. So that part of the course looks very much as it does in the 60s, and if you're familiar with the Assetto Corsa version of this track, which is amazing, the classic version of the circuit, that's going to look very familiar to you. I was very happily surprised how familiar that looks compared to that version or Sergio Loro's Südschleife for Assetto Corsa. It's nice that it's not totally different. You know, those circuits got it accurate. The Nordschleife here, we're in 1971, so it actually, in my opinion, looks not too dissimilar from these days, because this is right after they improved the safety of the whole course. So they widened all the edges, they put Armco around much of the track. It's not quite the same as these days, because you can see on the right side here, we've just got spectators up a berm, and we've got, you know, butted ends of the Armco and things, but you can see that transition of the track, how it was in the 60s, and then here at the beginning of the 70s when they tried to make it safer. There's a few corners and areas that are a little different profile than these days, but most of it's the same, so it's an interesting combination. It doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't feel dramatically different from the modern course. We do have sections like this with hedges and stuff that are quite nice. Come over the top here and up to Flugplatz. I think we can get a little air in this car. We'll have to see. Over the top. Little hop. No, not much. This section, this is actually Flugplatz itself, I believe. It's very tricky in any car. You just don't want to run wide there. Now, I don't run on a curved monitor. It's just a flat, ultra-wide panel. Flat out. I might need to gear the car a little longer. Not sure what exists for options for that. Alright, come down into Arenberg. Down to second gear here. It's going to be easy to outbrake yourself. Yeah, there are a few more jumps in this version. That's right. Towards the end of the lap, there's a couple areas that were flattened out in subsequent years. We'll come down through the dip. The curbing on a lot of this track is quite deadly. It's very, very high on the edges. Whoa, down to fourth gear, slide it in. I got lucky there. I'm just on an out lap, so I really need to be careful. I think I'll have just enough time to do one lap here for qualifying. Maybe we want to extend the session for the next race. We'll see. Looks like we got 24 folks in the race, which is pretty good. Come through. Now this area, I've heard mixing reports over the accuracy, because I believe this section was redone after 1971, but as we see it here, it looks much more like it does these days, so I'm not sure. I haven't done the research yet to know what's different about it or not. What? Down the hill into dry wrecks here. The race is just going to be 2 laps, so it'll be very short, but we'll do a few of them. My hope is to do 2 or 3 today. And allow, hopefully, a few different folks to come in for the second or third one, but then also, you know, we may see some accidents and things, and so hopefully, if we do, we get another chance at it. Alright, come down. This corner always catches me out. It appears quite sharp here, leading in over the bridge. Wow. It's a really fun car to drive. It feels a little, I don't know if it's too slidey or not. It feels a little slidey. But recommend this combination. It's a lot of fun. We were driving I was driving the Porsche RSR around here last night too, which is a lot faster, so it's just a bit more tricky. And then the obvious choice is to take the 1975 Grand Prix cars around here, and it is very intense. It is mind-blowing that they raced here in those cars. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with the track too. I mean, to know as well, so supposedly this is not complete. So there's apparently a lot more details to go in on the sides of the track and things. Even last week, I was testing it out in the closed beta a little bit, and there weren't like spectators or anything. So they've already added some more, and hopefully they fill it in like they did with Spa. And I have no idea, you know, what's missing right now. Maybe vehicles and I don't know, stuff on the edges of the track. All right, we'll come up. You can see the run up the hill there. What is that? The Stylstrecke. Yes, hopefully more hopefully more animated cows. That would be nice. Come through the carousel. Ooh, jumped out of it a little bit early. Just trying to not put it in the wall, so I'm going to need to do a lap. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a lap in. It's such a long course that when we get to the start-finish, I'm going to have under 10 minutes. I don't know if it'll wait for folks to finish their laps or not. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll have to start at the back. If nobody gets a qualifying lap in, maybe I'll extend. For race 2, we'll extend the practice for another 15 minutes or something. Alright, this part of the course is so fun. I was having a blast through here with the Porsche yesterday. Just a lot of slidiness. Just hopefully keep it out of the barriers. A little wide there. Around tight right-hander. Flattened out. I think that normally had a hump on it pre-renovations. It's a Brunchen, I believe. Going too fast to see the signs. I'm not I know some folks out there have got a tattoo on their arm of the Nürburgring. I know the track. I don't know all the corners perfectly, but here we come over a little hop. And this is always a tricky one. Hidden left-hander that comes over a very sharp rise. The rear end of the car likes to get light there, and especially in a faster car, it's an easy place to lose it. All right, guide it through here. We're coming up to the second carousel. Down to fourth gear. It's a little slow in the entry. I haven't done many laps yet in this car around the track, so I'm also kind of learning it, and we'll have to see who's been practicing. I didn't really say what we were going to be racing exactly, so hopefully nobody got too much of a head start. Alright, just a few right-handers and we'll get onto the straight, and the Dottinger straight here at the end of the lap is really cool. If you think it looks similar, I agree with you, but wait till you see this. Come around the corner, full hedges, and it hasn't been flattened out yet. These days, this is like a highway, right? But they haven't flattened it out yet in this version, and this has got to be, on the Nordschleife itself, this is, in my opinion, the coolest part. Because you get this big rise in the middle, and especially in a faster car, you're going to be flying over the top of this. I really would love if they added some kind of 70s prototype or something. It'd be amazing. Definitely on the rev limit. I'm going to need to raise the gears for the race. Don't let me forget that. We'll come to the end of the straight. Just a security lift there. And we got the chicane to negotiate. It's always tricky. Down to fourth gear. Down to third. A bit early on it. This part is, I think it's slightly different than it is these days because it feels like it tightens up so much there. Alright, come around. And that's my out lap. So hopefully, I've got 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Hopefully the session doesn't just end right at time, and we'll see if I can get a lap in. We got a whole bunch of traffic, of course. Take it a little easy here up the inside. That car looks awful beat up. I've noticed a glitch a little bit in the multiplayer stuff where the other cars will look very, very beat up, and they are just coming out of the pits for some reason. Chances are his car is not actually damaged. Alright, but right into the Nordschleife. Goal here is just get a banker lap in. If I turn a lap, I'll be on the pole because nobody's turned a lap yet. So if you're just joining, we're racing the Gesamtstrecke, which is the combined Nürburgring with Nordschleife and Südschleife. I'm on the Südschleife right now, and in 1971, this section looked exactly like it did in the 60s. You'll be very much at home if you're used to the Assetto Corsa version of this track. Just fence posts lined, some hills and bushes and things. Very, very cool. Down to the village here. Was it Mühlenbach, I think? You can really slide this car. That's definitely not fast, but it's fun. A little rest stop there, just in case you get tired. This is the route that the Marathon de la Route would have taken, using this version of the circuit. That one's first chicane here is not quite as tight. Second one is very tight, up to Schwarzkopf. Or Scharfkopf. I forget exactly the name. Right, second gear here. Pitch it in. A little bit early on the apex, but still made a nice slide there. Yeah, most of the Südschleife is gone these days, courtesy of our GP track. Alright, come up through the tunnel. Not quite as much of a rise here as in other versions that I've seen. This is a 2002 turbo BMW. 2002 model, not from 2002. That always confused me. How many corners is it? I have no idea. Got to be near 200. Alright, we'll get onto the Nordschleife cone on the track there. That was a really weird line. $187 corners. Man. Right up to the edge of the track. It's no Targa Florio, but it is a lot of corners. I think the thing that makes the Nürburgring intimidating is that you can actually learn it, whereas the Targa Florio, I'm sure there are some folks out there that really know it, but that one's you just kind of figure it out as you go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Izuli. Oh my god, thank you so much. I've never gotten a donation like that before. The pleasure's all mine for people watching the videos. I appreciate everybody watching. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Don't know if I'm deserving, but I'm happy to bring enjoyment to those, which I can. We got first lap time in. C racing. Gotta try to focus here. Zuli's throwing me off. In a good way. Get it down to third. Arenberg's gonna be that place. If folks haven't crashed up till that corner, that one's gonna be an easy one to bin it on. Hey Jacob, the track is good. I like it so far. I mean, you know, I'm not somebody that knows exactly what changed every single year on the Nordschleife. It looks like a 1971 version of the Nürburgring, you know, per my understanding, and I'm probably going to learn a whole lot more about it. Ooh, so we got a car sideways in front. Probably learn a whole lot more about this version of the track and what it was like in 1971 in the coming days. And, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm expecting that they've done a pretty good job on it. From what I can see, it looks like they have. I'm sure it's not perfect. Ugh. Alright, we'll come through this double left-hander here. It does seem a little different, but I've heard that this section might be slightly inaccurate. We'll come through, I think up here is called Kallenhard, if I'm not mistaken. And this feels very wide right here. Wider than I've seen even on the modern circuit through this right-hander. We'll come through Dryrex, just maxing out RPM there. And then down, really slow speed, left-hander. Probably the slowest corner on the track, if I'm not mistaken. At least on the Nordschleife. Hothead might be tighter on the Südschleife. Metzgefeld, okay. Folks are gonna have to forgive me that I don't know every corner by name. X-Mule, though, this one is always so hard to accelerate out of in a high-powered car, because you're coming over that rise, so the rear end just gets kind of light. Not so tricky in this car. This is where Niki Lauda had his crash. I know there's been several parts of this track that they've kind of like ripped apart and rebuilt. I think they posted on Rise-Up posted on the official blog or their Twitter and stuff that the entrance into the Südschleife they like completely redid. They had the track nearly done, and then you know, kind of saw some photographs and things that made their version look inaccurate, so they rebuilt it. So they're definitely trying to make as accurate as they can, and it I'm sure for the folks out there that are extremely knowledgeable about it, there's always going to be little things, but hopefully broad strokes, you know, it's a faithful recreation and nothing on it's too far off that makes it not enjoyable. I think just my first impressions here that it's definitely enjoyable. And it's a lot of fun in this car especially. I'm having a good time with it. Yeah, definitely a lot less development. One thing that's interesting, we were talking about this in my Discord last night too, is that there's a lot less trees, and the trees that are here are smaller than they are these days, and that might strike you as odd, but it's actually true. If you look back at photographs of the 60s and stuff, when there's some good footage and things, there's just a lot more open farm fields and stuff around the track than there are these days. And I'm not sure if that's part of Germany. I know Germany has a lot of laws about deforestation and making sure there's plenty of trees and things. And so I'm not sure if it's a result of that or... I don't know. But there's a lot more trees and they're bigger these days. Whoa, almost touched the dirt there. That would have been catastrophic. All right, we got about 30 seconds left, and we're going to see if I'm going to be able to complete this lap or not, or if the session's just going to end. Over the hill here. Little green flag for some reason. Yeah, I'm interested to try. Alright, we got 982 seconds. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the stream because it's slightly off the side of the screen, but I should have time to get around to complete it, and then we'll see. I don't want to cut anybody's lap off, but I guess we'll say if somebody's not past the carousel, let's say that. If somebody's not past the carousel, we're not going to wait for you, but if you are on the end of the lap here, we will wait. As long as we can. Let folks complete their lap. What? Missed the turn there. It's a blind little chicane. Luckily, the barriers are a bit further off. It must have been wild for them to commit to, you know, making the circuit safer. It was basically as much as I know, currently, you know, it was Jackie Stewart's Grand Prix Drivers Safety Committee advocating for safer conditions, at least them, maybe plus others, but they forced the Nürburgring to make these updates, or got them to agree to do it. And they basically went around the whole track and did so much work to it, which we can be thankful for because this track's still around now, but it's a massive undertaking. Alright, we got Horde in front of me. It's a kind of a bad end of the lap there, but we'll see what time I can put in. And hopefully get off the back of the grid. I need to remember to gear the car a bit longer if I can. Though it's really just down the Dottinger here that I have the issues with it, but it's good to have a little more top speed. Oh, a bit fast. No, no, no! I'm gonna put it in the wall! Come on, hopefully it's not too bent. Alright, the car definitely feels messed up, but I should be able to get it to the line. Lost a bunch of time there. We'll see what lap time I do, though. That was weird. Alright, third place. Currently on the grid. Lost a lot of time with that fendy bendy at the end of the lap. Return to pit box. Let's see here. Alright, so we said we're going to wait for folks that are on the track as long as they're past the carousel. So we'll try to figure out who's kind of last right now. We've got Rujatsu coming to line. Rujatsu, nice to see. One of our drivers. Man, so many of the cars look beat up. I'm pretty sure Snark's car does not actually look like that. And it's just the game being weird. He's a bit far back. Yeah. I think the AI took over and it Yeah, these guys are up at Flugplatz, so that's a pretty long ways to wait. Here comes Reefabus. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. So I think it's a bug, unfortunately. All right, we will wait for PlayLab to come through because they're getting towards the end of the lap. It's just patina, exactly. So yeah, I mean, it's tough to. I tried to not make, you know, opinions or calls on things straight from the hip. Like I want to actually try it out for a bit, and especially knowing that this is not the final version of this circuit, I don't want to just say it's good or bad. I don't see any reason it's bad currently, so it's a lot of fun. I'm very interested to see how much additional detail they add in. Yeah, that final chicane was added in '66, I believe, for the '66 race, or maybe the '67 race. It was added like right in the end of the '60s, and was one of the only major changes to the circuit. This is going to be interesting. Oh no! Oh, okay. Now the damage is real. Big crash from PlayLab. Right, Nino's on the straight. We'll wait for Nino to get through. Where's Victor at? Victor's pretty far up, you know, behind on the road, so we're not going to wait that long. We will wait for Nino to get to the end of the lap here. Yeah, what's nice is, I was actually saying this in the last video I did when I was looking at all the different sims and the, I know this car is destroyed. I have no idea if they've had an accident or this is just the sim being funny, but, no, what's nice is when you go from, like, sim to sim and things are similar enough that you don't feel completely lost, it gives you a little bit of faith that it's not terribly done elsewhere, you know? If something's drastically different, you wonder, is it wrong everywhere else, or is it this sim that's wrong? But it makes it kind of weird. But alright, they've come across the line now. Alright, so we've got a few folks qualified. Oh my gosh, thank you, Kit Fisto. Greetings from Germany. You live not too far from the Nürburgring. Well, I am very jealous. It's definitely somewhere I'd like to get someday. So is it going to wait another 9.5 minutes, or can I hurry it along? I do not see a way to, like, skip session. Skip to end. So, we may have to wait 9 minutes. Oh my god. Stuff like that is just killing me. Someone's still on the track. Alright, who's on the track? Uh-oh. Brain Eater is. Brain Eater and Vicor. So we'll have to wait, I guess, till they either crash or finish their laps. Well, I suppose it's fair. Oh, they're getting out of the car. Or stopping, anyways. Alright, just one left then. So it's going to be a... two-lap race, which sounds silly a little bit when... Oh, I think it finished. There we go. There. Two-lap race sounds like so short. And until you realize laps are like 12 minutes long. So it's it's like a half-hour race. But we'll see. Hopefully things aren't so crazy. I'm starting third, and hopefully can get away from the line all right. There we go. All right, edit my setup real quick. I just need to try to lengthen the gears if I can. All right, I can go one notch up. And then fuel-wise, where are we at? 7 laps. Okay, that'll be... I'm just going to leave it. It felt fine. All right. Race number 1. Hopefully things go well enough that we'll have a race number 2. But I appreciate folks joining. There's a lot of people in here today, which is always nice to see. I know that continue button is the scariest thing. Jason, when is your Indy 500? Could be fun. All right, almost everybody's ready. Yeah, so hopefully we can just get a good start and duel a little bit with Cranehead and David Gossett up front here. Rujatsu is right behind me. So it should be good. Seems like there's no shortage of opinions on Automobilista 2. I think did I go the wrong way in my final drive? Oh, I guess we'll see. Hopefully I didn't. I don't think I did, right? May 14th. I'll have to check it out, Jason. Yeah, we got about 10 seconds. It looks like Nino, we're waiting for them to be ready. There we go. All right, so hopefully everything goes well. Sinking. Uh-oh. This is some of the stuff we ran into with the other races we did. All right, here we go. Green's out, and we're underway. 2 laps here at the vintage Nordschleife. We got off the line in a race. That is always a good thing in AMS2. Hopefully I did the gears the right way. We'll have to find out. Come over onto the Südschleife though. I think I've got a car to my right. No, I don't. Alright, goal here is to not crash at some point and just try to let things string out a little bit. And then see what I've got for these 2 in front. Or whoever wants to challenge from behind. Yeah, one thing... Unfortunately, Ryza are not doing themselves any favors with the demo because it's on a very old version of the game. And they really should delist the demo, in my opinion. But if you haven't tried the real thing, I know it's quite the commitment to just buy something, but it is very different from the demo. In a positive way, in my opinion. Just dancing it. You know, I feel like this car is like almost a little too easy to slide, but it is so fun that I don't really mind if it's too easy. It's just a really good time to drive. I'll say that until I hit the wall. This track is out as a part of the release candidate, which anybody that has the game can try. I put some instructions in the description of this stream that you can follow to get it. All you have to do is subscribe to the beta in Steam, which is very easy. You can try it out if you don't like it or something. For some reason you want to roll back, you can simply unsubscribe from it, and it will put the sim back to the main one. But they did this, I guess, because they're not done the track yet. So if folks have just jumped in because they're watching the race, this track, it's a beta right now, so it's not complete. I've encountered a few little bug things in offline that maybe they're going to fix, but apparently they're going to be adding a lot more objects next to the track too. So you're getting kind of a preview of it here, and so far so good. It's very, very fun. Slide around, hothead. These two in front, it's fun to find other people to race with like this. I've heard, just based on the chat here, David's apparently quite skilled, so I'll see if I can keep up with him. A lot of times, though, you'll find, at least I find, that on the Nürburgring, you end up racing yourself, mostly. You know, you get into these kind of pockets where you have no cars, especially if you do a Grand Prix length type event. After the first couple laps, you just don't see anybody anymore because it's such a long track. It becomes more of a race just with yourself. It's a lot of fun in that way. Down to second gear as we come onto the Nordschleife now. So this is where things will start to look familiar to you if you're familiar with the Nordschleife, but it's a little different. So the thing that makes this track interesting is that it's kind of a recreation of the circuit immediately after the renovations to make it safer. Grand Prix drivers kind of banded together in the late 60s and early 70s saying the Nordschleife is too dangerous. We're not going to race there unless you fix a whole bunch of things with it. And so they widened the runoffs, they added Armco barriers to a lot of it, and it looks much more like it does these days, but there's still some major differences compared to how it is these days. And it's notably, things like these hedges and stuff still make it feel, you know, much more pure looking. It's just nice and green. Yeah, I'm already in 5th gear, so I definitely went the wrong way on the gears. Rookie mistake. Hopefully that doesn't kill me here, but when we get to the Dotinger, I'm going to be so slow. I'm in 5th gear right now, and going to be maxed out here. I think I turned off mechanical damage, just so that nobody gets a random failure. That'd be frustrating. Oh, David slides around there. It's a good little race in front of me. Got front row seats to it. Rush down the hill past Arenberg and up to Adenauer. Well, I'm a little fast there. That's going to be way too fast on the grass a bit. Get it down the gears. How did I save that? Life flashed before my eyes. Oh. I don't know how I saved that. That was really lucky. Oh. Make your hairs on the back of your neck stand up for a minute there. Yeah, it was a bit rally. Oh, David's off the track a little bit in front. That was more luck than a save. I just let the wheel do what it was going to do. I probably did gain on them because I didn't brake for the corner. I was on the grass, so once you get on the grass, you can't really slow the car down very well. Alright, dry wrecks here. Missed the first two. Missed all 3 of them. We'll come down into 1st gear. Yeah, was it? Yes, it was a just close my eyes and hope it turns out all right moment. All right, 2nd gear then. Past the exit here. Wow. It definitely takes a certain finesse, this car, and I'm on the fence on whether or not it's realistic, but it's fun, if nothing else, so sometimes that's more important. At least for races like this. I should say I'm running pretty much the default setup other than the gear ratio, which I think I changed in the bad way. I made it worse. But then also I did soften the car a couple clicks. I think I'm on 1 with the rear anti-roll bar, and then 4 or 5 on the front, I can't remember, but much softer than the default setup is. But this is nice. Look at this, like, nice forest. There's have a lot. So it'd be nice if they added, you know, some more spectators. Just make it feel like a party. If you look at the old Grand Prix here, and any racing at the Nürburgring, it's a big, like, camping kind of event. And it'd be great if you saw, like, tents and stuff on some of the hills. I haven't looked to see if there's any yet, but like, tents and fires and stuff. Like, anything that would make it feel like people are partying. Because that's kind of the vibe that the Nürburgring has. Even these days, but especially in the 60s and 70s. A lot of picnics, a lot of people just sitting with blankets and stuff like that. Alright, so I've stuck with these two in front, but they're very quick. Get it into second, get it into first for the carousel. Pop out a little early there. Saw David's taking a much lower line through the carousel, so I may want to try that. Yeah, it didn't change anything in the actual suspension, just the anti-roll bars. I'm sure you could make this car handle quite a bit different, but I'm having a good time with it. Very controllable once you get that sliding feel. You know, I'll probably throw it into the wall here in a couple corners, but hopefully not. Yeah, they are both a little bit faster than I am, and I can only hope that they start battling with each other a bit more. Allow me to catch up, but we'll see. Long ways to go yet. 2 laps at the Nordschleife is like 20 laps at most other tracks. This is the corner known as YouTube Corner these days. It's where they film a lot of folks. There's a spectator viewer area that's easy to access there, so you see a lot of footage from that corner. Oh, we're gonna slide into the curbing. Luckily the curbing kind of did its job there and kept me on the circuit. Yeah, if they can just add the smell of barbecue, some bratwurst or something, then it would really be the best sim. Yeah, you can't really take the curbs in this like you can in the modern versions of the track. Because they really are designed to kind of push you onto the circuit. They're very, very high. This is interesting. It's not as steep of a hill as I've seen in a lot of other versions of the course coming up to the second carousel here. Yeah, I know. I've been a little worried about it. I'm very surprised. So I'm running this. I was trying to get a dedicated server going. Had a couple of my admins, Liam and Ian, trying to figure that out for me, which is super nice of them. But we weren't able to do it, and so I was worried about doing this. But I am hosting this locally and streaming at the same time, and I'm very pleasantly surprised. I'll cross my fingers it continues to work this way, but last time I did a stream like this with the Indy cars, it did not go well, and I actually think my gearing's better. Because I'm in 5th gear right now and doing alright. I think I did the right thing. But last time I tried to do this with the Indy cars on the oval racing that we did, it just went really poorly. We had a lot of people disconnecting and a lot of server issues and stuff. And some folks were saying it's because I was streaming at the same time, which makes sense to me. And so I was a little bit weary to try this today. Okay, I'm gonna not bin it here in the final corner. But so far so good. Fingers crossed it stays that way. Slide it around, up on the curbing a little bit. There we go. Yeah, 4th place has fallen off a little bit. 25 seconds off. I'm 3.5, so we'll come complete lap number 1. And start the final lap. Halfway, final lap. Turn 1 there is always tricky because I don't come at it at speed quite often. Wow. Grabbed a little bit of the grass there, helped turn the car right out to the fence posts, giving the spectators what they paid for. Although I imagine it wouldn't be hard to sneak onto, especially in the 60s or 70s, to sneak onto the property of the Nürburgring without paying. Yeah, we're on the Südschleife, so if you missed the first lap, we're running the Gesamtstrecke. I think that literally means together circuit. So it's the whole track, north and south. Quite the exciting circuit. I like getting just a wheel in the grass there on the inside of the corners to help turn the car. Down to second gear, a bit hot. Slide it around. Is the engine hot? Oh, I do see the temperature there. I wonder if that's accurate. Well, you will see. Oh yeah, combined circuit. Yeah, my German's not super great. But it is a fantastic version of the track. Gesamt. That's right. I should know. It's been a while since I took German. Zusammen means together, right? Trying to remember my German as I'm sliding the car around. As these two go side by side in front, and just see how much that's let me catch up here in just a couple of corners of them battling. So apparently, this is part of the Nürburgring pack, not the historic circuits, which confused me as well. Alright, we really have nobody behind me to worry about. It's all going on directly in front here as we... Oh, somebody in the wall there. Yikes. Wouldn't be AMS2 without a little bit of that, right? Oh, yeah. Gonna run wide there. I got excited seeing David get around crane head. Diese Strecke ist sehr gut. Ausgezeichnet. Ich habe 3 oder 4 Jahre in Deutsch gelernt und ich habe nicht seit 2013 gesprochen. Oh my god, my German's terrible. I apologize to everybody out there. Yeah, but I used to be able to speak some German. Studied abroad in Austria, which was amazing. Yeah, this is a cool wheel. It's a little bit of a fake, but it's fine for sim racing. It's Fanatec's classic rim, and then I've just found a little Momo button to put on it. But it does the job. I looked at getting like a knockoff Prototipo or something, but this one is actually cheaper. This is like $100, which is still quite a bit, but finding a knockoff Prototipo is not easy to do. Everybody's telling me my German was good. It's not good. Don't lie to me. The problem with Austria is the German is so different there. When I was studying abroad, I got decent at ordering food and asking for directions and just like really simple conversation. And then I went to Germany and it was completely different. All right. I'm just barely holding on to these two. We'll make this a little less dramatic this time. Slightly slower, still a little bit of flair, pizzazz. I don't want to tell you how many steering rims I have at this point. I'm going to make a video real soon about gear and stuff. It's been about a year since I got this rig from Next Level Racing, and so I feel like I know enough about it now that I can actually tell you what it is like. and my experiences with it. So I might just do something where I go through all my different gear that I have, just kind of an update little video. I know I do have a shot at winning, but I gotta first not crash, and then two, hope that these two make it easy for me. Down into second gear here. All right, finally got the apex there. You want to miss the first one and then kind of hit those second two. Sliding it in behind. I've really caught on him. This David's, ooh, gets it a bit loose there. We're going to experience how the netcode is, I think, in AMS2. The fourth gear through Nicky Lauda's corner here. The green flag for some reason. Oh, I caught David sleeping a little bit. Slight contact. A little elbows out, but that's how it goes in these cars, right? Oh, he's gonna have a run on me. He got a much better exit there. He got around me. This is good. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen here. Just have a nice pickup race. It's fun. Nobody has spent hours and hours and hours building a setup. We're all just having fun. It's good. A lot of times, you either don't do online racing or it just becomes very serious very quickly. All right. Just don't want to take him out. That would be the worst thing. Get alongside, around the outside maybe. Ooh, he's going to squeeze me there. It's not really the chrome horn in this car, it's the chrome snoot. The chrome nose. I'm gonna keep it in second through here this time. A little fast on the entry. Right against the inside, kind of copying what David did last time through here. Pop out. Oh yeah, slide it on in. Kind of bottled it up at the top of the hill there. It's all right. We got a little bit of time left. David's going to be looking to get around Cranehead. I don't envy his position. I'm in a much easier spot right now. I don't have anybody behind me. I just can look forward. He's got to look in both directions. Cranehead just has to look behind. Really going to abuse the curbing. I was thinking this might be a leisurely race, but I'm putting it in now. Slide right out to the edge. Whoa. Yeah, I would love if Ryza did some 50s stuff. It's just, at this point, it feels like the most underserved decade of racing. Ooh, and sim racing, that was bad. Made a mess of that. Slide it in. This corner is so different than I was expecting. There we go. Not saying it's wrong, it's just it's different than other versions of this track, so. These two, they're really good. This is a great race. I'm very happy they decided to join this today. Oh, David gets on the grass a little bit there. I'm going to have a good run. As long as I can get through onto the Dutzinger. All right. I should have got up to 4th a bit earlier there. Man, it's going to come down to the final chicane. So we're coming to the line to finish the race. 3rd position. We're at the top of the hill here. I got the slipstream, and I'm just inching on him here, but it's not going to be quite enough to get a pass going. He's going to actually get a pass maybe on Cranehead. He's going to dip out. Which way do I choose? Lifted there a little bit. Cranehead gets a little sideways. Sneak up the inside of him. He's going to be a little more daring on the brakes than I am. Oh, he runs it too deep. Smoke it through the final corners. That was a bit of luck, but I got it slowed down in time. And come across the line to win that little fun race. That was cool. Excellent. That was so much fun. We're going to do that again. We'll do that again. We'll let everybody finish, of course, but... Oh, man. That couldn't have worked out much better for me, huh? David just went a little too hard there into the final corner. You know, I'll say, I'll take credit for it, but it was really David having a bit of an issue. We'll do some old backcountry burnouts. Keep on wanting to go for my handbrake, which I don't think is hooked up to this sim. That was a good race. That was a classic kind of touring car, vintage kind of race. Yeah, it always feels good when you win. Would have been good regardless, even if I had finished 3rd, but the win, I'll take the win. Great racing, though, from David and Conehead. Conehead? What is it? Cranehead. That was fun. It's nice. This version, I mean, a classic Nürburgring was always going to be good, as long as it wasn't totally botched. And I think they've done a pretty decent job here. Oh, there goes Jackson on by. Cranehead, give him a little bump. That was fun though. Thing is, you do 20 of these races and none of the other ones are going to turn out like that, so. Now we're going to keep going. So this is race 1. And we'll probably do at least one more. And so I think some folks are going to drop out. So if you do want to join us, and you have this all installed and stuff, and you're not planning on just being a wrecker, then the details are in my Discord, and it's just available to whoever can join whenever. So unfortunately, there may not be spots open all the time. Well, let's see if you can go around the Bentenschleife here. So, long outlap at the Nürburgring. This is David. Long outlap here. So in real life, what they would do is, especially in the Grand Prix, is to warm up the cars. They'd come and do the loop there that we just did, and then you could come up and there goes Rajatsu doing a slide. You'd come up and rather than going around the entire Nordschleife, you'd take what's called the, I think it's the Steilstrecke, or no, this is the Bentenschleife. I forget. But you come around, yeah, it looks like we can drive on it. And this loops you around to the start-finish. And so obviously your lap time doesn't count, but you can, they would do that 2, 3, 4 times, get the car nice and warmed up, and then gun it out of here to start an actual flying lap, you know, for a race. And obviously save you a ton of time. Last lap, last corner pass for the win. Things you like to see. Now we're going to do that. I'm going to stick with this combo. I think it's a fun combo. I guess he can't do anything until it's done. I don't know how this works. I haven't done enough AMS2 online to know how it all works and stuff, so I guess we just hang out until the race is over. Yeah, it'd be nice. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. The Nordschleife, that's right. Okay, concrete loop. It would be nice. I don't know if you can do that in a qualifying session here. That would be really, really rad to cut out that full... Did I say you can't do anything till it's done? Yeah, I guess I did say that. Oh, it's Minx. Oop. A little bit of a fendy bendy there. I appreciate folks coming and racing with me too today in this. It was a lot of fun, actually. Thank you for racing. Gonna do another one if folks want to stick around. We just have to wait another 140 seconds, I guess. Really impressed with the details on the circuit, even in the state it's in. And apparently it's only gonna get better. I genuinely think they did an amazing job with the Spa track. I wasn't as impressed with Monza. The track itself just doesn't seem right. But Spa, they did a fantastic job on, and so far so good on this. I've seen a few of you saying that it maybe looks a little wider than it should be. It maybe is. Oop, there we go. I think everybody finished. This car in front's got the hood up. Alright, so we'll return to the lobby. It was fun, Jackson. I saw you finish maybe 4th or 5th or something. Alright, so we're going to do pretty much the same thing again. So it looks like we do got some space. There's only 23 folks in here now, so if anybody wants to join us, you can feel free to do so. And I don't think I needed to change anything. We'll stick with the full layout, the BMW 2002s. There's a lot of different things that we could change and add, but for today we'll just do this. For today we'll just stick with this combo since it was so fun in the first race. I'm going to turn on my fan because it is quite hot. While this loads up. Back in. That's exactly right. We are going back in. Password and everything's on my Discord server for folks that are looking for it. Hopefully it's working here. We ran into this a bit last time too, where it would just like load forever. We'll give it a couple minutes, but if it doesn't... Oh, it looks like it might be working. Hopefully it works. Everything so far has worked. Which, everything so far has worked, which is much better than my last experience with the online multiplayer here, but this is taking a long time without too many signs of anything working. I'm just looking at that top text is moving a little bit. Yeah, this is, I was saying it during the race, but this is Fanatec's classic rim, and I just put this little horn button on it. And I have, this is something I'm going to go through. I think I'm going to make an actual video about hardware stuff, but and I'll go through this in more detail. But I put a quick release on top of my Fanatec podium hub so that I can swap rims out pretty easily. So if I want to go 50s racing, right, I can get rid of that one and pop this one on. And ta-da, we can go 50s racing. Everyone needs to be ready. Is that what it's waiting for? Just ask if it's loading for anybody else. Yeah, Monaco would be nice. I don't love racing at Monaco in any sim, really. It's a tough track to race on, but because we've got like everything else, I do hope they release a historic Monaco. It would just help complete. I think we'd have almost the entire calendar then. Wonder if I should just restart everything. Yeah, it's just like stuck loading, so I might restart it. All right, I'm gonna probably just restart the whole server. Put you on this one for a minute. Oh, that's weird. It's the edge of my monitor. Nah, we'll keep it here. The old Control-Alt-Delete. It was all working so well. I'll just start a new server. Yeah, I'll just start a new server, and hopefully the first race works like it did last time. All right. Well, it seems like some folks got in. It could have been. I've seen there's been bugs with that. I'm going to start another server, so you probably want to exit that one. I don't think I'll be able to get in my own race. It worked when I left. I'm just going to start a new one with all the same settings, and we'll go from there. V2, same password as last time. This is kind of a nice display, I guess, of how easy it is to set up a race when it works. But yeah, we'll keep it on 30 minutes qualifying. Hopefully that gives folks enough time to at least join in. And it's all the same settings as last time. And I'll just wait for at least one person to pop in. Yeah, this is what happened last time I did a lot of streaming for AMS2 as well. Tried to do some online racing. It just didn't really work well, but we got through that first race perfectly, so I'm hoping I can just recreate that magic here again. Yeah, Lewis, I know it seems to work on some screens when you Alt-Tab, and then others it'll pause the sim. Alright, here come some folks. Jackson's in. Alright, I'll give it another minute, and then we'll start. And people should still be able to join while it's loading. Comes Horde. Alright, I'm gonna kick it off, and hopefully it loads this time. If this doesn't work, we'll have somebody else set it up. So I really would love to get a second race in. Yeah, I'm excited to do... I mean, like I said earlier in the stream, I hate to take a look at something before it's done, because then, you know, a lot of folks are going to check out that, if I did like a initial video review on it, a lot of people would look at that, and then if I do more videos on it, you know, I know some folks will watch all of them, but most folks will only watch that first one, and then they have just the impression of it, you know, like that, which isn't, you know, the best, because I want folks to see the final version. So it's good at least to do some online racing on it, how it is today, and then hopefully they finish it up pretty quickly, because I want to make a bunch of different videos about it. Be cool to do. Uh-oh, I think we're getting the same thing as last time. It looked like it was loading, and now it's not loading. Why? Why does it not work? It's so weird that it would work the first time, and now it doesn't. Let me do this. I'm going to keep that one running. It said, folks said when I quit last time, they were able to load in. So maybe if I... Can I get back in my same server? Would be the question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Louis. Or Lewis. It was so good that first race, and now this. We're doing the same exact thing, and now it doesn't want to load. Why? I'm wondering if my server is up and I can like rejoin my own race or something. I do see my own server. Waiting to see if it lets me rejoin, and if not, I'm gonna try one last thing where I set up a third one and just start it immediately and then see what happens. All right, that's not doing anything. I know, it's a shame because, I mean, I'm sure there's like a sequence of ways to do this to make it work, but at the end of the day, we shouldn't have to like jump through hoops to try to get it to work. All right, I'm going to open this up and just immediately jump in, and then hopefully it works. And please, for other folks, I don't know what the right mix of things is, but hopefully I can load in and at least, and then other folks can join. I don't know. The first time we had a lot of people in when I started it up, so we will see. Problem is, if you turn damage off, then folks may drive as if they have no damage. Ah, it loaded me in. So hopefully other folks can join this one. And I do see a couple other people maybe have joined. Hopefully it loads for them. I don't know. Just looking at... Yeah, so, okay, I see what folks were saying last time. So I was on a 3.450 ratio final drive last time. The arrows here are a bit deceiving, but to make the gearing longer, you go down on this number, but that means you actually increase it here. So it's kind of weird, but I did go the right way with it, because I was going to say my gearing felt better in that race, the race, than it did in the qualifying. So are other folks able to join this is the question. I see Kev Barber coming in. I see some folks joining, so I don't know if that means they're going to be able to hop in here. We'll wait at least to see somebody else. There we go. Success, at least for now. I know there's always a chance that we won't be able to make it to the next session, because that happened last time too. But at least we'll be in this one. I kind of want to start from the back, but I think I have to qualify here. At least drive around. Maybe I'll stop before the line. Alright, there we go. Had to change where my chat was. Yeah, it seems like at least a few folks have gotten in. I really apologize if anybody's trying to load in and can't. You've seen it all happen here. Who knows why it works sometimes and others it doesn't. So, there's some oddities with AMS2. But when it works, it's nice and it's fun. So hopefully it just continues to work for us, because that first race was a lot of good fun. Alright. Got Minx here in front. Try to squeak around him if I can. Now let me go on the left side. Alright, we're on the out lap, so I should have enough time to do my qualifying lap here. Hopefully. Oh, I'm gonna crash. Well, that was awkward. We'll go back to the pits. I didn't quite get enough to get ahead, so then I just ran straight into the wall there. Hopefully it lets me drive again. I think it's like syncing up with everybody or something. Yeah, that's the Nordschleife. So it's we're racing on the Gesamtstrecke, which is the full north and south loop. And the southern loop looks very much like it did in the 60s, and the northern loop, the Nordschleife itself, looks quite a bit different than maybe you've seen. I do not know why I can't enter the car. Why can't I drive? This is the main question. Good to know. Hammond has tried the Bentonschleife and it doesn't work. There we go. I had to look at the monitor for a minute, I guess. Very odd. Alright, I really gotta book it now if I'm gonna get a lap in. Yeah, that was odd. A lot of little gremlins. I mean, I do not envy Ryza in sorting out the online stuff, but they really need to. So run way too wide there, blow my tires on a curb if it was real life. My lap time's invalidated. Alright. Hopefully my next one works, or else I am going to be starting at the rear for this second race. The car on cold tires is much, much different than than it felt at the end of that first race. I have the Heusinkveld Sprint pedals, which are very, very nice. They were my first load cell pedals, so I don't have any experience with other load cell pedals, but they probably are my favorite thing on my rig. I don't know what that means exactly, but I do enjoy them a lot. All right, come down to Muhlenbach. Little village, little town. I'm sure they're happy a racetrack no longer runs through the center of the town pretty much, but they won't be far off the bottom of the GP circuit these days. Yeah, Martin, the car does feel interesting. I was talking a lot about it in the last race. There's some really good road detail there. I don't know if you can notice that. I feel it in the steering wheel. But yeah, in the last race I was talking about it quite a bit. It feels extremely forgiving. Like you can really thrash the heck out of the car and it'll be fine, but it's fun. And so, I mean, it might not be the most realistic car, but I'm having a good time with it. Yeah, it's still early days for my new wheelbase here, but so far so good. Oh, Hammond's having a bit of trouble there. Maybe a long lap with a hood like that. It is a blast. I had so much fun in that last race. It's rare for lightning to strike twice, so I'm not sure how this second race will go, but hopefully more of the same, because it was a lot of fun last time. Yeah, I know a lot of folks like playing AMS2 in VR, and so I imagine this will be spectacular. Especially all the distance scenery. There's quite a lot of areas where you can get like a good view into the distance, which just really makes it feel like you're going somewhere. We're on the Nordschleife proper now, though, so for those of you that know this circuit these days, this will look a little familiar. So we've got a few folks crashed there, and I'm going to spin as well, trying to avoid them. We're all right. We're all right. Get back on the track. Saw Hammond there to the outside. All right. I'll probably, for folks that catch this later, I'm probably going to delist this stream, but I'll cut out that first race and maybe just post that as a video, because that was such a good little race. Don't have to have people sifting through this whole stream just to find it. We'll see how the second race goes, though. If it's also good, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I've been getting, not into arguments, but people are arguing to me lately a lot about VR. And I don't know why suddenly there's like a lot of folks that seem upset with me that I don't use VR or something. I have nothing against people that like VR, but I don't know why. I do not know why that's like an issue for some folks. But yeah, I like how things are laid out here right now. I really, I don't know if I would want to change much about my current setup. Especially, a lot of folks get triple screens, which is nice. I think that would be super cool, but it gets hard to film stuff then. You're having to, as I really bottle that up, this is going to be like a repeat. Another save. Just go right back into talking about it. Triple screens, really cool. Way more performance intensive, and I have no problems with performance when I'm driving alone, but filming videos, it's hard to do on the same rig. I really should end up getting like a capture card or something, dedicated one, because I use the onboard GPU to do video recording, and so that would just be harder to do with triple screens, even if I'm not recording them. Just because I'm running them, it would make, you know, I'm obviously not going to make a video with those in it, so it's I don't know, it's one of those things where for what I do with sim racing, which is drive and then record videos, I kind of like my setup as it is. Slide it through. I feel like I'm extra slidey this time. It should be pretty much all the same settings as last time through. Yeah, I think part of it, Surdy, is not necessarily that people have issues. It's just, you know, when you talk to people over text on the internet, you can't really understand the tone that they're saying something. So you could say, hey, you got to try this in VR. And reading it, you could read it like they're angry or they're happy or they're excited. Who knows, you know? All right, come up through Xmula here. So it looks like we've got a lot of the same folks and then some new ones from last time, so I should have enough time to do a lap once I get around, knowing that we have an extra few minutes off the end of the qualifying while it waits for everybody to finish. Fifth gear. This part in a low-powered car is really funny because it's actually quite steeply uphill here. Might be hard to notice in a sim, but if you're in like a small-engined car, it can actually really bog down going up this hill. We have just enough power to overcome that in this car, but you can tell it doesn't accelerate quite as fast. Slide it into that left-hander. Just want to get a good enough lap on my second time around here to get in front of some of the chaos behind. Worked out well last time. I started third and pretty much stayed there. I lucked out majorly at the end of that race. Helmet and gloves. I do have gloves. I only really need them in rally, because you're like, rally, it's so much sliding on the wheel that for 2 or 3 hours, the hands would really get raw doing that. Everything else, like even this, although it's slidey, it's not quite the same intensity, so I don't have any issues without gloves for this. Oh yeah, modern cars also kind of top out there. Yeah, it's a weird section of the course because it's very sharply uphill. You just can't quite notice it in a sim. But we're obviously coming downhill for much of the end of this lap, so we had to go up somewhere. It's too early days, Roman, to say if I like this version better than the Assetto Corsa version. They've got more stuff they're doing to this one, so I'm going to reserve my final opinions. But I mean, I'll tell you this: there's very unlikely a day where I'll dislike one enough that I wouldn't drive on it. So I'm just kind of happy this sim has this version, and that we also have one in Assetto Corsa. Hop off the curbing there. Especially with the, I am very excited to do some more of the Grand Prix cars around here, because I'll tell you that, I said earlier on too, the 1975 Grand Prix cars that they have are mad around here. It's insane that they race them around this track, and if I can actually get good enough at it to survive a few laps, I'll probably be making a video about that combination specifically. All right, coming around a couple final corners at the top of the hill here, and we'll get on to the backstretch. Kietelbacher, or Dottinger. Definitely a highlight right now for me on this track. Nordschleife is awesome, and this straight, it's just so much different than it is these days. It really helps make it feel like a different version of this track. I want to get some really nice camera shots of cars coming up over these humps. We're topped out in 5th gear. Feels like I'm maxing out even more than I was in that race. It's odd. I think we can easily go flat here. It's just with other cars around can be a little more tricky. Alright, we'll come and I'll start my lap. I should have enough time here to get around before the session ends. I'll try not to hit that wall on the final corner of the qualifying lap like I did last time. Some fuel pumps there right on the side, which is kind of neat. Alright, come over the line, start the qualifying lap. And where to brake for turn 1 here. That was a bit early. Suppose better early than late. Oh, thank you, went golfing. Jump over the top of the hill. Appreciate your membership. Down to 2nd gear here. Yeah, you can really pitch the car in. It's insanely controllable at a high slip angle, which is where it feels maybe the most odd to me, but it's fun. I keep on saying that. Even if it is a bit too forgiving, it is a lot of fun. I mean, I've never driven one of these cars, so I have no idea what they're supposed to handle like. I can tell you this, if this car is this fun in real life, I can totally see why it was popular. Really could have carried a lot more speed there. We'll come through the Mühlenbach town then, down to 2nd gear. We'll head out up the course, and just keep your eyes on the track here. Up the hill, there's a few, I'll point them out if I can. It'll be hard to see on the video, I know. There's a few patches in the asphalt up here that you can really feel in the steering, which is cool. Right here on the left, there's a couple little like divots in the tarmac. I got distracted by the chat. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate your membership there. Just saved it. Right out to the rocks and grass. There's a lot of little debris on the edge of the track. It doesn't seem like to make much of a difference if you run into it. Got a big tank slapper there. That hedge is very hard. I think it'll be okay. Wasn't expecting it to be basically a wall. Yeah, visually I'm liking what I see, and to know that they're just going to be adding more to it is great. So if I had any complaints right now, just slide it in there. See, that felt like I shouldn't have been able to even get around that corner. Oh no! It invalidated my lap. I wonder if I can cut and do a lap this way. Is this gonna count? Lap time. Yeah, but will this start a lap for me? I guess I don't know. I don't have like a timer on the screen right now, so I don't know if this counts. I'll keep driving, but I might be starting at the rear of this one, which is going to make it very interesting. Hop over onto the Nordschleife. I'll try to get around this lap and see what happens. It does say lap 1, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. But I have a feeling this lap is not going to count. I'm having enough fun just driving this car that it'll be fine regardless. The trick's going to be avoiding any kind of chaos starting at the rear. I think that might be a 4th gear corner at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, last to first challenge. Well, if the folks up front are as quick as they were in the last race, I'm not going to be catching them starting last, but I can hope that I survive the race enough to gain some spots and have a good way working up the field. This is, probably just a lift. Still learning the track quite a bit, especially this part, the Nordschleife. Nope. That's the flat out kink, and then this is the really slow one. Yeah, seems like you can slow the car down very fast. I really hammered the brakes there and got it to stop. Alright, we'll avoid the hedges this time. Yeah, there are some mods for AMS too. I've done quite a few videos about some of the mods that exist. The IndyCar mod, and I took a look at VRC's Audi Quattro GTO car. It's cool. I know there's been some more recent stuff done to help make mod installing easier. I haven't looked at that personally yet. But it sounds like there's some kind of content manager type thing being developed. So hopefully it turns into like a drag and drop type installation process, and that'll really open things up. Come in wide, scoop it in. Really technical at the beginning of the Nordschleife here. Thank you, Boet. Just want to get as close as you can to these curbs and not touch them. It's a little wide there. Way too wide there. We're going drifting. Alright, head up to the Flugplatz. Over the top of the hill. Double right. Just a lift to the throttle in 5th gear. Wow. Big slide. Maybe 4th gear through there. It's bogging down just a little bit. Yeah, we're racing the Gesamtstrecke right now. And my shirt's not gravel. Yeah, it's a bit slidey, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'm liking the curbs a lot too. It's at first I have a feeling they're going to be very frightening in the Grand Prix, like the 70s Grand Prix cars, but the touring car here And like GT cars, it seems like you can use them on the outsides of corners to help keep you on the track, as I get that all wrong as well. How many times have I gotten this wrong today? Somehow saved it again. Yeah, you can use the curbing on the outside of the track here. I'm like very much sliding the car. Outside of the track, they help bump you on the surface, keep you there. And the inside, I mean, they clearly mark where the track ends, so you're not as likely to cut it. So it feels like a good combination. This one's a little more flat, so you can use it, but it tends to push you off the apex, which isn't good. Down the hill here. Easy to carry too much speed into this right-hander because it's very sharply downhill. Car likes to understeer there. I know, I'm turning into a drifter here, but it seems to be the way the car wants to drive. Slide it through there. Oh, I just got the rear on the grass. I'm lucky I didn't loop it there. Alright, down to the really tight corners. This one Metzgefeld? Is that what we were saying last time through? It's tough because the chat, if you didn't know this, the chat when I read your chat's like 30 seconds delayed. Car in front has hit the wall here. Up through X-Mule. We're getting right to the end of this session. I should have enough time on the clock with the rundown clock to finish this lap, but pretty confident this lap's not going to count. So I'm going to be starting after the qualified drivers. Whether that means the very back or something, I have no idea. Hopefully not the very, very back, but we'll see. It'll be entertaining if I do, I suppose. Ford sets fast time, 12 minutes flat. Actually, don't know what kind of laps we were running in the last race. I can easily do this kink flat in this car, and then this left-hander up here is a downshift and a chuck it in. That is too fast. Oh, I really rear-ended it there. Did Horde set a world record? I really bottled it up through there. Maybe a little bit more than a downshift then. See how the car drives. I'm actually curious if you can go up here. We're going to be starting at the back at this point. Oh, check it out. So this is a little passage that I think is still there, but it's dirt now. Wow. That cuts out the whole carousel. I did an 11:55, okay. My lap time's invalidated. Well, I knew that was going to happen, but that cuts you up past the carousel, and I guess the original idea with that was some cars couldn't do the carousel, so they would just cut that set of corners out. I'm not sure what races they held using that version of the track. Yeah, Joker lap. I know in the Assetto Corsa version of the 60s Nürburgring, they have some layouts that you can use that race on that, which is kind of cool. Yeah, is it a test hill? I don't know the full story about why it exists. All I know is that it's not really there anymore in a drivable capacity. Yeah, they do get a bit weird with the rotating trees. The Steilstrecke. It's very, very steep uphill. Come around, I want to drive into the pits. The pit lane here is so narrow. It's honestly just incredibly pleasurable to drive this car. It's very forgiving, but it's if you back off like 90%, it's quite fun. Alright, session's over, but we've got a 10-minute countdown clock for folks to finish laps. Once everybody's done their laps, it should just go to the next session. Is it still there? I thought it was like a dirt road now, because I think there's like a law in Germany where you have to, anything that's not used, you have to remove all like human constructed things from it, like roads. That's why the Hockenheim Ring, they actually pulled up all the asphalt for the long course, because they officially got rid of it. They can't just leave the pavement there. You can hear the turbo on this car. Alright, I'm curious how solid these walls are on the sides. Oh, there's like a guardrail inside of the hedge. I wonder if that's how it really was. Yeah, it seems like there's actually a metal guardrail inside of the hedges here. I know. I wish they could bring back the old Hockenheim, but it is gone. It is absolutely gone. Alright, coming through this final chicane. This has been one of the trickier spots on the track. Get it down to second gear. And I don't think there's a way to like cut over back to the Nordschleife here. So I think you pretty much have to do the GP section of the course. We'll come into the pits though. Check these out. We've got little gasoline pumps. Get some close-up pictures of those at some point for a video or something. And I'm loving all the detail around the start area here. I'm hoping they can really spruce up, you know, the whole track. But yeah, there's a pit wall, so it makes the whole thing a bit narrow. Here's our map. There you go. Keine Eifelfahrt ohne eine Runde über den Nürburgring. No. What does that mean? No road to the castle, only a road around the Nürburgring? On the Nürburgring? Meine Deutsch ist nicht so gut. Wow, we got a lot of folks in here. I should park in case everybody's waiting for me. Oh, I think the session just ended, or it took control of my car for some reason. Okay. All right. Return to pit box. So this is going to be probably quite a bit different than the last race. We've got just a couple folks still out there. Cranehead is disqualified. Why? No Eiffel Tour without a lap around the Nürburgring. Okay. This will be interesting. I don't know if it's going to actually stick me in 31st for this race, or if I'll start somewhere else. I have no idea. But we'll do this race. This will probably be the last one just because of with the issues in the middle. I don't think I'm going to do a third one today. So are you afraid? Another pair of jeans up there? So Horde has taken the quickest time. You probably can't see it under my face, but Horde from Jackson and Disarming Baton. Then Henrik is third. Decapitated Cattle. Interesting name. You're fourth. And Sim Racer's Arms is in fifth. Yeah, I mean, it is a bit faster. Definitely, because they smoothed out a few parts of the track, but there's still character to it, so it's not this totally cleansed. I mean, if you even want to call, I think the current circuit is still plenty, you know, raw and a great circuit, so it's not like they ruined it or anything. But there's still quite a lot more bumps and stuff on this version, but it is notably more cleansed than the 60s stuff. Yeah, we do have a couple folks that qualified, but with 13-minute times. And if I was doing 11:55s in the last race, then it's going to be interesting to kind of get through some of this chaos. But we got a few folks still finishing their laps. So if we click on, whoa, nice drift. Yeah, I was racing Trilbo last night. I was racing the Porsche RSR, the one I just did a video at Alton Park with. Oh, that's a bit far. But yeah, I was driving that around here, and that is really fun. It's a lot faster than this car, so you have to be a bit more on the wheel, but it is a good time. Oh boy, Minus's car looks pretty beat up. No, Kevin, I wasn't trying to say anything. Good. It's better. I very much enjoy when folks get through a lap, you know, and at least turn a time instead of crashing, you know. Even if that time is slower, it's better to do a lap than not. These two, this might be some exciting stuff up here. Coming down, so they're past the first carousel, so they're not super far away. We got about 5 minutes though from the end of this qualifying, and then hopefully the race works, and we can actually have a start. So far, so good, though. Other than the track not, like, getting into the second race being a bit of an issue, everything else has worked out pretty well so far. Boomer Wrangler, I think you just need the Nürburgring pack. So you need that pack, and then it would work. We're just watching a couple cars finish their qualifying. There's 5 minutes left on the clock, I believe. And then we'll be starting race 2, and I did not turn a time. It's my fault, but I didn't turn a time in this qualifying, so I'm going to be starting somewhere outside the top 10. It's yet to be seen if I'll be starting dead last. But if you weren't here for the first race, it was really fun. I'm probably going to cut that one out and to make a little video if you didn't catch it. But very racy, a lot of fun racing the other guys. And so far the track's good. I mean, it's tough to draw. Been saying over and over again, it's tough to draw any kind of conclusion because it's not even done yet. But I'm impressed. Yeah, it does, Jason. So that is the one thing I've seen pointed out by a few folks. Metzgefeld, which is the section I believe after Ardenauer Forst, is not the correct shape. I don't think it's ever really been represented in a sim correctly, as far as I've known, so that's a shame, but it's not going to ruin the track for me. I think some folks were looking forward to that though, because it sounded like they may have been working on that. Love the Doutinger straight here at the back end of the circuit with the huge undulating hills. It's a shame they had to flatten those. It is such a shame, but this camera angle here, if it was just slightly lower peering up, I want to get some shots of Grand Prix cars going over those hills. All right, we have made it through the qualifying. Now, cross your fingers this all works. And it loads the race. Oh, it looks like it did. All right, so I'm going to run the same setup that I've been running. And where am I starting? Oh, God. Dead last. Why? Why does it put me last? Lots of folks didn't turn qualifying times. All right, this is going to be an interesting race. Back of the grid, I'm going to have to do massive wreck avoidance for this first probably half a lap, I would guess. And hopefully I can get through that all right, and then we'll see what I can do from there. But as long as I don't finish last, I guess. Yeah, Hawk, I think they must have flattened them because cars would have launched, you know. You see what happened at Le Mans in the 90s, right, with some of the prototypes and things. So I could only imagine that would have happened a lot more. For the content, yeah. God. Yeah, good luck, I'll need it for sure. Hopefully this just all works. I think we're waiting for a couple more folks to say that they're ready. You gotta click ready if you haven't. Once you're actually ready, if you're adjusting setups and stuff. Damage is fully on. I think it's on medium, so it's not quite full, but it's close to it. So I definitely can't hit things. Yeah, definitely gonna need the luck on this one. Oh, thank you, Herschel. Appreciate that. I don't know what it does if folks never click ready. Oh, there we go. All right, on the grid. Car works. Seems like it's all gonna work here. Cross your fingers. Okay, car in front of me didn't really start, but I did. A few cars didn't get away from the grid. We got one stopped car up front here. All right, everybody gets away. Outside is not the best place to be, I would say. Come down to the first corner, just nice and easy. Got Crane Head just a couple cars up. That was one of the cars I was racing last race. Ooh, we got cars spinning, launching into the Nordschleife. Oh. All right. Little fender benders, but we got through. I think I hit square on the front and the rear, so the car, I think, is all right. Everybody's much slower. I gotta be careful here because people aren't braking quite as deep as I'd expect them to. So we got a little side-by-side action in front here. Much different race this time. Last time we got off pretty quick and smooth, and then it was just kind of a straight up 2 laps of the ring. It does look a little like Wreckfest. Oh, we got these two, Hammond. Oh no. Oh man, I thought I was gonna be able to sneak by on the inside there, and I just got it slowed down in time. Go up the inside. Oh, Hammond's way too quick there. See if I can get around Hammond. It's going to be crucial, I think, to survive. Ooh. Please let off. There we go. Sneak up. No! I knew that was going to happen. How can we get straightened out without getting nailed? Well, that was going to happen, wasn't it? Wow. What was that? The car is broke. I don't think it works anymore. Yeah, imagine not getting nailed at flat out. Something is very broken in the car. I don't know who came in there flat out, but that is too bad. I don't know what Hammond did there. Just like careened into me from the side. I thought he was letting me by. No, I'm not gonna do over. I mean, this is what happens. This is why I was so happy to get that first race in the way it was. The hood's rattling, but the car is still drivable, which is very surprising. It was a pit maneuver, you're right. He like very much just took me out. and I have a feeling he's still in front of me, so it's going to be interesting. These are random people, so this is what happens sometimes when you just have a random race, but the first race was so good that this doesn't speak for everybody out there, but who knows? Not the end of the world. All right, I'm going to see what I can do with this. I mean, the car, for as messed up as it seems, it's actually still driving straight, so I'll see what I can do with it. I'm sorry about the sound. I am also shocked this car moves. It seems like I got nailed there. The bummer is we're never going to really know what happened because you can't view the replays, as far as I know. They just kind of get lost to time. The replay system is not great in AMS2. Alright, we got Ferrari Fanatic. Or who's in front of me here? Ryan Esch. It's okay, I already got one win today. I'm not too hurt about it. Ooh, Ryan's on the grass. I'm scared to go around anybody now. Yeah, Luna, I might have got hit so hard, you're right, that all the sides are broken enough that it just drives straight now. Yeah, I'll have to see. I wanted to save the replay from race 1, but I didn't see the option to do it. If anybody did get the replay from race 1, let me know, because I would love to splice that into the footage. Wow. I don't know how to share replays. Alright, I'm in 20th. And the car works. The hood is loose, but at least it's not in my face. It's not a rally stream, so we're good to go. Oh, no! That's an accident you see a lot in real life. Can I sneak by Tribe before Arenberg? Are they going to come flying up? No. Okay, we're good. I'm up to 19th now. Oh, Minx is off. Slide through Armberg. So this up here, this is the part where people say it's wrong for this version, or there's a debate. This section here, and my understanding is that it kind of was originally kicked out a lot further and it was a sharper kink, if I'm not mistaken, but tough to say. Yeah, luckily the hood opens back first, so that it's not going to blow up in my face. If you've been around for some rally stuff, you'll know all too well some of my escort happenings. Oh, we got a car crashed here at the bottom of the hill. D-Buck slides through the apex as well. Honestly, the car feels almost fine. So something, I don't know, I think we have the damage on medium, but I thought the car was fatally crashed there at the start. Down into second gear. Off the inside of X-Mula. Down to second. Just touch the curb, keep it nice and tidy. Weight on the throttle. There we go. Alright, up to 14th now. Ford Escort. Let me clarify there. It was a Ford Escort. Driving this actually reminds me a lot of that in an odd way. I think the cars are proportionally quite similar. Honestly, how's it in terms of turbo lag? I don't really... It doesn't have enough power for me to really notice it. You can see the turbo gauge on the dash, or you might not be able to. It's behind the list of drivers on the right side. All right, come up the inside of Voodoo Acid. All right, this is where I crashed in qualifying. Just do that much more tidy. The second part of the corner there is really the tight part. Coming up to the carousel now. Down to third gear. Really, I didn't get the blip right there. The car almost came out from under me. Do I recommend playing this game? Absolutely. I love... AMS2 is just fun. It's... You know, I think you're going to encounter bugs in almost every sim, unfortunately. There's not many that just work. Whether it's R-Factor 2 or Assetto Corsa, they all have quirks. So I think people give AMS2 a really hard time for some reason. And I would say its bugs are just as prevalent as all of the other titles. But it's just a lot of fun. So I mean, if you like this kind of thing, maybe not super serious, just fun racing, then it's a good time. Online, there's not a lot of stuff happening. So if you only like racing other people, then it might not be the best sim for you in the moment. But if you like AI or doing hot lapping and stuff, and you've got a few dollars, I would highly recommend AMS2. Whoa. Very close to the grass there. We're fighting for 11th now with Silent Nas in front, and Tony Keto. It's a name I recognize. I don't know where I know Tony from. Maybe just the chat. Yeah, they're just all different. I just made a video about this, comparing all the different sims, and like, to me, they all have issues. So it's kind of a sum of which issues are important to you. And where I've ended up is I just play all of them because they all have certain things they're good at, certain things they're bad at. Yeah, you gotta find a league. That's exactly right, Mbeer. If you want to race AMS2 online, you gotta find a league. And there's some folks, definitely folks on my Discord racing some leagues and stuff. There's also, I can recommend AMS Unofficial, I think is their full name. It's the Just Race folks that helped me do my sports car series with the servers and stuff. They organize a ton of races. They've got races going all the time too, and different things, and they're very receptive to suggestions on certain series or combinations. They also race AMS1 as well, but they do a lot more AMS2 now, from what I've seen. Alright, catching on Tony here as we come around onto the Ditzinger. Lap 1. Terrible start. I got kind of pit maneuvered on the Nordschleife, but I've been gaining positions back, and now I'm fighting to get into the top 10. And we've got a whole second lap to see if I can catch anybody else, if I can get around Tony here. My hood flapping. The car, I thought had terminal damage, but it's been very drivable. The wheel is straight, which is the big thing. I don't know, Dimitar, if it looks worse. Honestly, I didn't play a lot of Project Cars 2. I just never quite got on with it. I understand a lot of people liked that sim a lot or still play it, but it didn't really capture me, so I don't know. I think AMS2 looks really good. Sometimes it can really depend on your time of day settings and stuff. Oh, Tony's running to the wall. I did that already today at one point. Ooh, he comes across the track a bit there. You're also asking the guy who routinely plays DOS games You know, I don't really, I'm not a big graphics guy. I appreciate good graphics, but it's not too important. As Tony outbrakes me, he's back on it. Alright, we'll dive into the Nordschleife, and I gotta figure out how to get around Tony here. The inside. Car's got the I've been racing at Bristol look. It does, a little bit. Oh, I am in the top 10. Aha! That's a good point, Billy. Nothing ruins good graphics like poor gameplay. I agree. I'll put it this way: the reason I keep playing those old DOS games is not because of the graphics. Tony's holding me up a bit, but he's doing a good job at putting his car in a place that I can't really get around. See another car up the road too coming through Muhlenbach here, so hopefully I can get around Tony and try to set on towards the front a bit more. I need to actually pass him. What I get for looking at chat. Heavy on the brakes for hothead. It's like he's really cranked up his pace. Suddenly. I'm about a minute off the leaders, so I don't think there's any hope up there, unfortunately. Alright, I also crashed here in qualifying, so we'll get the car properly slowed down. Well, it's just turned into a nice little scrap. We'll slide out wide there. If I had been a little more on it, I might have been able to get around him easier. Alright, slide in front of Tony. Now I gotta keep the position. Luckily, he didn't make that too difficult for me once I got alongside. It's a good clean pass. There's a terrible exit onto the straight here down to Flugplatz. There's a little hotel on the left there. Is that still there? I want to stay there. Alright, up to 5th gear. I see one more car up the road, so that's Brain Eater. Let's see if I can catch Brain Eater and keep Tony behind me. Looks to be falling back just a little bit. Slide it in. Man, you can really thrash the rear end of this car. That's probably where it gets the touch unrealistic when you're really sliding it. It should it should probably fully lose grip at some point a little sooner than it does. But again, I've never driven one of these, so I don't really know. I'm basing this entirely off of other sims. Wow, just cut the grass there, that's fine. Do a little mowing. I don't have any issues with anti-aliasing in this game. I don't know what I have it set on, but it's looks pretty good for me. I have more problems with anti-aliasing in like ACC, where that just has like that temporal AA and stuff that doesn't look very good, or DLSS and stuff that makes it look kind of muddy. Really slatted into dry wrecks here. Definitely gaining on Brain Eater in front quite quickly. Down to second gear. Lock him up. Yeah, I think there's... I'm not the person to comment on realism. I'll leave that to the physics experts. I'm having a good time is really all that matters. Alright. I have to make quick work of Brain Eater here if I have any hopes of catching whoever is up the road, which I don't think is going to happen because there's a 20-second gap in front of him. We'll come through Lauda's corner here. Drifted on through, he's a bit slow. Stick it up the inside into Bergwerk. In a second gear. Just keep it right on the curbs. It's a bit awkward. Slide it around though, there we go. Alright, so I've got, about a 30-second gap to the car in front, so I think that might be the last passing. We'll just try to finish the race here solid. Flat out through this S. This is quite hairy in a Grand Prix, like a 70s Grand Prix car. We'll get in there. I'm having so much fun with this. This is a great combo. I'm interested to try some more cars around here, but so far I've driven the Porsche 911 RSR, which is fun. It's a lot harder. That's a difficult car. People have been saying as well that the Corvette that's a part of that pack, the GT Classics, has had a lot of changes. So I'm actually interested to try that out. I'm not sure I would want to take a Corvette from that era around the Nordschleife, but it could be interesting. Yeah, up to 8th now, but I don't think, unless somebody crashes, I don't think I'm going to be passing anybody else up here. I'm like kind of purposefully drifting it now because it's a lot of fun. You just really crank on the wheel coming into the corner, get it down a gear, and you don't really need that there. Third gear, keep it through, then balance on the brakes, get heavy onto the accelerator so it really kicks the rear end around. I just feel the weight of the car really well. Kick it in. Understeered a lot there. Gonna jump on the grass a little bit. Slide it around. Well, I would love to drive a Capri, but the MS2 doesn't have a Capri. Yeah, Capri would be like perfect for this. Wow, that was almost straight into the wall. I'm gonna spin out. No. Alright. I was worried I was gonna run into somebody. right. That was not good. Let's see if I can get back around Brain Eater, but I'm going to run out of corners. Yeah, I cannot imagine doing this for 96 hours. And they did it with like 2 driver teams, so you were driving for half of that. There were some 3 driver teams as well, but man, I cannot imagine. All right, coming to the final time through the carousels, and I totally miss it. Yeah, I don't have the looking buttons mapped right now. I was looking at my relative, though, so looks like the leader's just finished, so we're coming right onto the Dotinger. Yeah, I think some teams had 3 drivers, but some ran with 2. And, I mean, they didn't, if you watch some of the videos from that, they didn't really, like, drive the cars hard. Especially then, you couldn't drive a car hard for 96 hours and get away with it. So they were, you know, they were racing, but they were driving the circuit more. Actually, I think I've seen pictures. They're not even wearing helmets and stuff because they're not really racing the cars so much as they are just kind of driving them around. Unless Brain Eater here is real slow, I don't think I'm going to get around him before the finish. All right, come through the final couple of corners. Made a mistake there, but recovered a bit. Got a top 10 in the second race. Not quite as glorious of a finish as the first one, but still fun. Horde gets the win just over Sim Racer's arms. And my BMW's definitely hurting at this point. Really fun track though. If you joined quite late in this, see there's a lot of people in here today. It's cool. You know, if you joined quite late in this, it's available if you have the Nürburgring pack for AMS2. I put some directions in the description just to, you know, about how you can subscribe to get this beta, and it's just going to get better. I guess the plan is they're going to add more objects and things. I have no idea what else they're going to change about it, but so far so good. It's a really nice rendition of the circuit and definitely fun to have in AMS2, especially with the Nordschleife and stuff. It's good to have. There's David coming back. Got somebody coming up behind me, give me a nudge. We'll wait for the session to end because I want to see if I can get the replay at least to look at that crash. Oh, what's going on with this car? Man, I'm just getting pushed now. There's people on the circuit, there's bumpers. Yeah, the Nordschleife is part of the beta. It's the whole track, everything. I know some folks have been asking if they're going to release a Bentonschleife like track. So they used to race like Formula 3 cars just around the start-finish section, which would be kind of neat to have a version of the track, you know, that does that. It is so easy to drift this car. It really is. Hunt the winner into the fuel. That would have been bad, actually. Oh, go through him. That would have been pretty bad. Yeah, I did have some issues with the sim crashing when I was trying to get a screenshot for this stream for the thumbnail. So I think there are some bugs and things. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think it's a pretty nice rendition of the, you know, Nürburgring kind of classic. It's not so different from the modern one just because it has all of those updates, but it's still quite nice to have, you know, this. And I guess we really haven't seen like a first party 70s version. Did we have a fight in the, Okay, I remember that. Yeah, the VAC Indy 500, the 50s Indy 500 I did. Now, there's no layout for the Nordschleife right now, so we can't do a race on that version just yet. I suppose, yeah, that was probably not smart for me to hit Horde if he's got a DD, so I hope I didn't hurt him at all. Apologize for running into you. I think I missed my pit stall. Or no, it's all the way at the top. This guy has gotten, Ferrari fanatic has gotten into the crowd somehow. Interesting. You know, they have the whole track, so hopefully they can just add a layout for the Nordschleife. But we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I can't exit or anything yet. It's kind of interesting. You have to wait till the race is over to see the replay or anything like that. But yeah, not too bad of an event. A couple online races and AMS2s. Always a lot of fun. I'm going to see if I can get the replay for this and just see what happened on that start before wrapping things up. Oh my god. Yeah, Nordschleife is such a small track. It's not one that you would want to do any kind of big race on. Oh, what's going on here? Jackson, if you do have the race 1 replay, let me know. And I don't know if you can send it to me. I don't know how they saved, but that would be amazing because I would love to cut that into the footage. There we go. Oh my gosh, big crash across the line. Save replay. Let me do that. Oh my god, it's so glitchy. Alright. Return to lobby. And it's probably just my accent, Mighty Mavs. I am American. Alright, let me see here. I'm gonna leave the lobby. Apparently I've got no media. What? More media may be present, but will not be available for viewing until unwedded items are deleted. You can't see this, but this is annoying. Let me pull this over. This is the error I'm getting. So I have no replay, even though it said it saved. And it might exist, but I can't see it because I have too many. Or something. Well, thank you. I do have an American accent because I am actually American. So I guess I can't view the replay, unfortunately. Maybe I'll figure it out at some point and share a clip on Twitter or something. But anyways, thanks for tuning in for this today. It was just a bit of fun to experience this track and look at it. I'm sure once they finish it up, I'll be recording a couple videos at least, just talking about the track and why it's 71 is a unique version of it, and if there's any interesting history that I can come across about it. But I appreciate folks joining. A couple fun races. The first one was certainly one for the record books, and I'll probably be cutting that into a video and share that on the channel soon. But thank you very much. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend and everything, and I suppose I will see you all again next time. Thanks.
Don't leave me here